Greetings, everybody. It is Barbara, and we are returning with this DX in Dark Toys inspired 1/6 scale collectible figure. As you can see, it is a combination effort of Dark Toys and Red Star. I've heard of Dark Toys. I do not know who Red Star is, but this is a tribute to the film, which just celebrated its 20th anniversary, American Psycho. This is the box that it comes in. It shows not exactly the suit because the suit has a little more detailing to it. We're obviously going to talk about that in a minute. But on the side it says products design. It's a 1/6 scale collectible figure. I do not think it is a fully licensed figure, but we'll talk about that. There are plenty of parts that are not suitable for children. This is an adult collectible, and because of the nature of the film and what this comes with, hold that thought, you definitely want to be an adult playing with this. Interestingly, they call this American Psycho, and they harken back to the film Psycho and the very famous shower scene in the film Psycho, but that's not a part of this movie. American Psycho is a very different movie about a yuppie in New York who either imagines himself to be a serial killer or is in fact a serial killer. When I read the novel back in the day, I walked away from reading the novel thinking that the character Christian Bale plays really is not a psychopath. He just dreams himself that he is because he is so insecure about his life. Speaking of, let's go ahead and show you. That is the figure. It is a pretty decent likeness of Christian Bale, which is why I'm not going to say definitively if this is or is not a licensed figure, because for an off market, it's pretty good for a lot of reasons. Let's go ahead, bring him front and center, and we will talk about what is good about this figure. So let me go ahead and put a little more light on the subject, as we say, and tell you that the face is very nicely detailed. There is a lot of detailing, especially at the cheekbones and the nose. There's the definition of a very high cheekbone and a very strong jawline. That's a combination of the sculpt itself and the paint. And the lips are pursed inward, like he's almost biting his lip. There's just the faintest hint. I won't even call it a 5 o'clock shadow, but it's later in the day, I guess, for him. The painting is so good. For a minute there, I thought maybe the brows were real. They are not. The eyes have absolutely no soul to them, which is exactly what they should be. They should not have a soul. They are brown, and you can't see it from this angle, but looking at it straight on, the eyes are, the way I'm looking at it, the eyes are actually looking up. But when you're looking at it in the camera, they're focused on. So I don't know if that was a decision made by the sculptor to make it look that way. The hair is Christian Bale's length, as it appears in the movie, and pretty much as he wears it now. There's a little bit of paint detail, a little bit of lighter hair and darker hair. There's just traces of that. But unfortunately, right here, there is also this huge break where maybe they put a seaming where they put the two sides of the head together. I don't often see that. I'm surprised that I do here. But otherwise, it's a very nice sculpt. Again, I just want to say again how impressed I am, and to show it to you from the side, how very well done this cheekbone and jawline is constructed. Even the ears have a little more detail to them in terms of the canal, and that's really well done. He comes with several pairs of hands, so since we're here and we're talking about what is well done, and I do usually talk about the hands. These hands have the detailing of the bones. I'm not seeing a whole lot of veins here. On the inside, there's a little bit of detailing of lines on the hand, not a whole lot. So I've seen better detailed hands, I've seen worse, but again, I can see the seaming of the plastic. And I don't really see too many indications of fingernails on these hands. He does come with 4 sets of hands, the hands that are on him, and then 3 more. This appears to be what he will use to hold the business card. If you want him to hold the business card, I'll show that to you in a minute. This would be his right hand. And he has a left hand that can do something similar. He does have 2 hands that are made in a fist. Now in the fist, there is definitely on the inside the best detailing of hand lines. And a little bit more detailing in terms of, perhaps because he's clutching, you can see a little bit more of the veins as well as the bones. It's not really showing up on camera, but it's there. And the nails are pronounced here. The nails are pronounced in the fist. They're also more pronounced, by the way, now that I'm looking at it again, in the gripping set of hands. These also have a more pronounced fingernail. That will not matter because we do have these very nice black leather gloved hands, right and left. There's a detailing of a seam for the gloves, which is nice. Unfortunately, these are hands that can only go with action figures, and I mention that because it would be nice if someday Mattel and Integrity could get on the same page, and then we could all switch out with these really nice hands for gloves for Ken and for the Holmes. Let's go back to him. Let's just raise this up a little bit. His suit jacket is going to, it does look like a double-breasted suit. It is a black pinstripe suit, very much in keeping with what somebody who works on the stock market would have. It's going to open and close with 2 buttons. It is lined as a suit should be, so that's nice. He's wearing probably the weirdest constructed tie knot I've ever seen in my life. I have seen much better tie knots. I do not often see a tie that looks like this, so the tie is interesting. And this is a French press collar with the white collar and French blue. His trousers have a working belt, but the fly is, I can even tell from here, is Velcro. He's not wearing socks, but the pants are long enough to cover that up. And the shoes do appear to be, oh no, he does not have feet. If you take the shoes off, he loses his feet. So these are Peg-on Oxford loafers. And the trousers are not lined. I don't want to hurt him too much, but just to show you again, the trousers are not lined. To put him on the stand, I did put on his hand the watch he comes with, which I will show you in a second. There it is. It's a very interesting concept for the watch. It's not solid gold. It's not solid silver. It's a Rolex that is both gold and silver. I've seen much better versions of this. It does have a dialing hand. It is set to a time. It does have the appearance of the date. But as I said, I have seen much better versions of watches like this. So the watch is definitely not what you get this for. But that's not what I got this for either, frankly, because I'm not a huge Christian Bale fan. I got it for the accessories, and for the suit. So I'm happy that the suit is not hook and eye closure. It has the feel of a double-breasted, even though it's going to close only with 2 buttons. And just very quickly to check, yes, the pockets on the suit jacket can open. You can put things in it. Ditto the trouser pocket in the front and the back. So all the pockets here work, which is nice if you happen to have a 1/6 scale wallet that you want to use. So all of that I'm very happy with. Interestingly, I was very surprised. This is the trench coat that comes with it. And the trench coat, very interestingly, is a suede. It is lined, and it is a faux black suede. And I'm very impressed by that, because you usually don't see that with an action figure trench coat. Again, there's a pocket. It opens. It works. There is no gentleman's pocket on the inside, but it is very cool. And there's like the smallest hint of a shoulder pad here, but I don't know if he necessarily needs it. I think it's just to keep the shape of the jacket. So I do like its construction. It is constructed very nicely. I have not seen the movie, so I can only refer to what I know in the novel is when he goes on his killing sprees, he may have to wear some kind of lab or science coat, completely not lined, very gauzy. It did fit right over he comes wearing this, and it closes with Velcro. So you could almost use this like a sleeping shirt. And once more to check the pocket. The pockets work. So again, this is where I want to say this is where I don't know the movie well. I do know he's a murderer in this movie. And this is the substantial, and let me say that again, substantial axe that it comes with. To put it next to him, it is the full length of his arm. It is very long. It is also very heavy. This is not wood. This part here is made to look like wood, but this is definitely plastic. This, I'm going to say, is a cheap metal if it is metal, but it is also somewhat, there's a bit of an edge to it. I mean, I can't kill somebody with it. Can't even really open a letter with it, but it's substantial. This is not something you want around a kid. This will take out a kid's eye. So will this. This is all solid metal. It does not have an edge, but it is pretty substantial as well. Definitely could work in a kitchen diorama. It is pretty fierce. Let me say, I do not know the movie, so I don't know where this would come into play or what this is. This is included. I'm guessing this is some kind of drill going into a wall or a T-bar. Not a clue, but it's included. If it's important to you, groovy. A little disappointed with the Walkman that this comes with. The body of the Walkman is actually kind of brave because there's no rement type trick to this. It does say Sony. It does say Walkman. These are the actual letters, Sony Walkman. There is no tape that you can put in and out, though it has all the old components, parts for a Walkman. It looks good. The sad part is, this is the headset you get with it. I would not have, it just feels very flimsy to me, so I'm not even going to try to put it on his head. The wire is actually wire like you would use to tie up a garbage bag or your iPod cord. It does not plug into the Walkman, so basically you would put it on him, have the Walkman in his hand, and basically trick the shot that the wire is in the Walkman. It does feel like, though, that the earpieces are foam, so that's kind of an interesting detail. It would be perfect if you could actually plug this into the Walkman or wrap it around that looks like you could put it into the Walkman. The briefcase opens, as you can see, because I did put some stuff in it. It was not particularly intuitive to open. I'll say more about that in a second. You do get the 1980s classic. Yep, this used to be a cell phone. This is what people used to carry around as a cell phone. This is what it looked like. It was a huge ass brick. It looked absolutely ridiculous with someone. It was basic. I mean, you really did not. This was a status symbol. You if you were sane, you didn't want something like that. There's a very memorable scene, or at least it was memorable to me in the novel, where they were talking about the quality of the print of his business card. So here is his business card. It does have writing on it. The print is very small, and I am old, so I cannot read it. But there it is. You also have Huey Lewis in the News 4 CD. It does not open. We love you, Huey. You are the man. We hope he's doing well, because he did have to take a break from performing because he has some health issues. This is a cigar, which he evidently smokes. This is a nice cigar. Usually I see them brown. This is black with a gold rim. And I'm not sure. I took one of the flat hands, so here you go. It will fit, like so. So let me go ahead now and show you the inside of the case. It's not lined, but they detailed the inside to give it the look of it almost having a cloth lining. It closes. You do this. It looks closed. And then you have to take your nail, if you have one, and then just gently, prayerfully. Gently and prayerfully. And try not to break it. Pop it back open. It's tricky. This is not an easy one to open and close, so be aware of that. You can fit, and I did fit the phone, the CD, and the Walkman in there. I'm not sure if again, because of how flimsy this is, I'm not going to try to put the headset in there, but the cigar can go in there. And that all goes into the briefcase. So, American Psycho by Dark Toys and Red Star. Do you get him? If you are a fan of Christian Bale, you 1000% get this figure because the sculpt is amazeballs. It is, I mean, again, it's a very good sculpt of him. It's a very good likeness of him. You can almost instantaneously change it up and turn this into a Bruce Wayne figure. So for that alone, you get it. The suit is very nice. The trench coat is lovely. That's fantastic. So definitely just for those reasons alone, which is the reason you get this. Now, if you know the movie and you get why this prop is important, I don't see a prop like this very often. So maybe you get it for this prop. And yeah, the axe is pretty substantial, and you can certainly put that in a cowboy diorama or even like a Revolutionary War diorama if you do that kind of work. The knife is interesting too. And in terms of PPE, personal protective equipment, which was not an issue when this figure was first came out, but is now, this is not a bad PPE coat to get. My only quibble is with the headphones that go with the Sony Walkman, and the fact that the Sony Walkman doesn't open, which is kind of disappointing. But otherwise, yeah, if you can get your hands on this, I absolutely would. It's a great sculpt. It's a great figure. I totally dig it. I think it is well worth your time and your effort. So if you can find it, I got mine at Cotswold Collectibles. I'm not sure if they've sold out there, but I think you can very easily find him on eBay or in other places. Definitely get him, and if you can only get the body or the figure, because they parted out other parts of it, again, that head sculpt is completely worth it. This is a great looking Christian Bale. Definitely get it. So for me and for Christian, I'm Barbara, and I'm going to see you in my next review, which is going to be Present Toys' tribute to The Truman Show. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.